This is our meal this morning. I'm having green bell pepper juice with ginger and turmeric and black pepper. And James is having lettuce juice with the same thing. And an omelet with the green pepper pulp and some cherry tomatoes and some sauerkraut on the side. And a bun, and we're both having fruit salad. He's having coconut cream on his, and I am not. Anyway, so I wanted to mention something about this, which is the worst thing about this, is that, okay, in the story, the detective, she's the private investigator. She's tracking people and stuff like that, following people, and then after tailing them, coming up to their secret hideout sort of things or whatever. She's following these people around a lot of the time while she's riding on the back of her boyfriend's motorcycle, which is a Harley Davidson, which is really sneaky. I mean, if you were being tailed by a Harley Davidson, I think you'd know, honestly. Or if you were in a secret hideout and you heard blah, 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 blah coming up, I think you'd be like, huh, what's that noise? Oh, that's that private investigator that always tails people on a Harley Davidson, because that's really smart. So that's what I liked least about this show. It was so bad. So I just had to bring that up. Oh, set that there. I'm gonna have a little bit more pepper. I read that book this morning, and you might have noticed how thick it was and thought, oh my, that's such a thick book. How did she read that in only a morning? Well, it's mostly pictures. It's an illustrated. Oh boy, this is not working out very well for me. I'm putting pepper on cold ale more than on my spoon. But I dropped some of my pepper coming out the door, and so I wanted to do that. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take some more pepper maybe inside, because right now it's not working out for me very well. I don't mix my pepper in with the juice. I just take it like this. The turmeric I do not take like this. I tried that at first. Blah. Sticks to your mouth. It's really bad. It almost makes you puke, like instantly. And my monkey went away. Well, he can stay down there, I guess. He's hiding in my shirt. Oh, that's so bad. It's a strangely floral flavor, but not in a good way. Even makes that taste bad. Okay, so now I'll talk about The Occult, Witchcraft, and Magic, an Illustrated History by Christopher Dell. And I think James might enjoy that book because it has a lot of pictures of ancient writing things in it. Okay. So you might actually be able to read the stuff. Some of the stuff isn't ancient, some of it's French and stuff like that, but well,
even that's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you flip through, you'll notice. 12. The Egyptian god of magic, Thoth, was also the god of writing. In 1319, the Franciscan friar Bernard Delicious, I don't know how you say his name actually. Delisseau,
Delicieux, but that's what it means.
was sent to prison for owning a book on necromancy. The inquisitors of the 14th century followed the Acts of the Apostles, in which practitioners of magic in Ephesus voluntarily bring their books to be burnt. Now, I have to point this out. If you're facing imprisonment or something like that for having certain books, I don't think it's really fair to say that people are voluntarily bringing books to be burned. I just have to say that, right? Because it's a little bit ridiculous. 22. The Sumerians' early writing, 2600 BC, produced written incantations. Sumerian culture influenced Akkadian, Babylonian, Assyrian, Akkadian Maklu.
Akkadian what?
Maklu? M-A-Q-L-U with a hat?
Maklu, yeah, burning. No.
Series.
That
and
hat just means it's a long.
And the Serpu? How do you say that? S?
Sherpu.
Sherpu?
That's, yeah.
Which
and
also
mean
translates to burning. Okay, so James has just confirmed that this guy got it right when those were translated to burning. So 26. Sheep's livers used in Babylon to read the future. 104. Mistletoe was to be gathered on the 6th day of the moon, and it had to be cut with a golden sickle by druids. 114. Bellomancy, divination by use of arrows. Ezekiel 21:21 mentions it apparently. Lithomancy is the interpretation of gems and stones. Nephromancy in the clouds. Nephomancy is cloud reading. And necromancy is communication with the dead for predictions of the future. Druid was a member of the educated professional class. 119. Pliny described a ritual: mistletoe harvested from oak, then 2 white bulls sacrificed, then potion made from mistletoe. It was an antidote to all poisons. 123. Magical places are often deep underground. Quinta del Regulera estate in Central Portugal. That's 123 if you want to look at that. You're near there right now. It's actually really beautiful.
Okay.
142, page 123. So you're going the wrong way now. You were right near it.
No, I didn't mean that.
Okay.
Find it now.
I see. 142. Morgan Le Fay. Some say she had 8 shape-shifting sisters. Others say she was Arthur's sister. Others say she was the sister of the Lady of the Lake. Some say she was the mother of Oberon, king of the fairies, and the father being Julius Caesar. 162. Albertus Magnus, born in Bavaria in approximately 1200. Catholic bishop, university instructor in Paris. Astrology, magic passed on to Thomas Aquinas. 173. The Picatrix is a well-known grimoire, Arabic, 11th century. The Sworn Book of Honorius is another grimoire, 14th century. 176. The Key of Solomon, the Lesser Key of Solomon are famous grimoires. 215. Malleus Maleficarum, Hammer of the Witches, publication 1486, associated with witches, with the devil, witchcraft with women. It was officially condemned by the Catholic Church in 1490, but continued to be used by both Catholics and Protestants for another couple centuries. 217. Witches accused of using voodoo, like wax effigies, familiars, spirit animals, to do their bidding, and the animals drank the witch's blood. Most believed witches could fly. 218. Anti-Witchcraft Act of 1563 mainly targeted poor single women. 220. Salem witch trials 1692-93 led to the execution of 19 people. 223. Alchemy base metals, copper, tin, zinc, can be transformed into precious ones. Golds are philosopher's stone. The first was Mary the Jewess, 1st to 3rd century AD, they don't know exactly. Zosimos of Panopolis was an Egyptian alchemist from the 4th century. 224. The physical alchemy, the principal apparatus of the alembic, which is used to distill chemicals. The magnum opus had 4 stages. Nigredo, burning until black. Albedo, purification. citrinitis, turning silver into gold, and rubido, creation of philosopher's stone. First stage could be achieved by the dry way, by fire calcination, or the wet way, by putrefaction. A more detailed version of the magnum opus has 12 stages, the last of which is projection, a material mixed with metals such as mercury to create gold. 231. 7 classical planets associated with 7 classical metals: sun, gold; moon, silver; mercury, etc. (233) Animals used to represent the different stages of alchemy: white swan for whitening, green lion for greening, a pelican for reddening. The Ouroboros, dragon or snake devouring its own tail, is the symbol of the never-ending cycle of alchemy. The caduceus, 2 serpents entwined around a rod, is another symbol for Mercury. Which, I mean, you know that symbol. You know the 2 serpents entwined around a rod. Think of where you know that symbol. 256. Hoodoo. Mississippi Delta combines African and Native American beliefs. 267. Zulu witch smellers were common until the Suppression of Witchcraft Act of 1957. These women typically would hunt witches to be killed or banished. Witchcraft remains widespread in Kenya. Powers of witchcraft are inherited. 273. In Indonesia and Malaysia, Dukun specialize in herbs and healing. North Sinatra, Pustaha, accordion-style book, is like a grimoire. Trobriand Islands of Papua New Guinea, magical spells owned by tribal elders. 275. The Feng Shui are Chinese magicians. The Onmyodo cosmology in Japan is based on Wuzing, 5 elements, 6th to 7th century AD. 277. The Onmyoji were the magical practitioners. Abe no Saimai, AD 921 to 1005, was a famous practitioner who used a pentagram known as the Saimai star in Japan, which represented the Wuzing. Some say his mother was a kitsune, magical 9-tailed fox. 342. Chiromancy, palm reading, believed to have originated in India. 346. Eliphas Levi, most influential 19th century. He entered priesthood and met Gano, a practitioner of witchcraft. He believed human willpower could be used to perform miracles. 348. Abramelin oil recipe from Book of Abramelin the Mage is a holy anointing oil with myrrh, calamus, which is sweet flag, cinnamon, and olive oil. 353. Basis for Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Aleister Crowley, master of ceremonial magic. 361. Crowley, born in 1875 to a devoutly religious family. He was a hiker, traveler. He performed magic in the Great Pyramid of Giza. His guardian angel, Iwas, informed him of the Book of Law, which became the basis for his Thelema religion. He performed Enochian magic, which made him invisible. He also said he'd been attacked by a vampire. 373.
He sounds like a great self-promoter. Awesome.
There's some awesome pictures.
He was a rock star before.
Yeah.
Rock stars even thought. What a guy.
373. Wicca is regarded as a modern pagan religion introduced by Gerald Gardner in 1950s. The Wiccan Reed Law Valiente in 1964, and it harm none, do what you will. Horned god and moon goddess worshipped. 379. Anton LaVey incorporated elements of a fantasy fiction writer, H.P. Lovecraft's work, into the rituals of the Church of Satan. 384. Chaos Magic from Austin Osman and Peter J. Carroll. Carroll's Liber Null, 1978, and Psychonaut, 1982, Each practitioner can create their own reality. 386. Austin Osman Spare, born in London in 1886, has influenced contemporary magic more than anyone else. He published The Book of Pleasure, 1913, a grimoire with only pictures, no word. He was trained as an artist. He is known for his idiosyncratic philosophy known as Zos Kia Cultus. Zos, human mind, Kia, universe. It's close to the Chinese concept of Tao. 389. Recent witchcraft popularity linked to feminist movement. I don't know. I don't know about that. But anyway, I mean, it's not a very useful book for, it's like reading a brief little magazine article about the subject or whatever. But I enjoyed it.
Thames and Hudson usually publish art text. It's very nice looking.
And that's what this is. It's
very
really an art text.
I'd say it's a good read, but it looks more like a good book or something.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah. Unless you're into trying to figure out what some of those things say, the stones and stuff that they've...
Well, they've got some amazing stuff, like stuff in the Arabic script from Malaya and other places that there's no guarantee it's actually written in Arabic. Very poorly written, I might add. Hard to decipher.
I didn't put any pepper on it, so if you want pepper, it's there. You don't need it?
Okay. Yes. I probably should have it, but it's kind of dirty, so I don't do
Anyway. I was given these wonderful blueberries and strawberries from the Salvation Army Furniture Depot yesterday.
Yeah, they're still fresh. Amazing.
I ate the ones that didn't look so fresh yesterday right away, so that the rest would keep pretty well. And well, James is eating a lot more pineapple this morning because I don't like pineapple.
Well, this isn't very good pineapple, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's still pretty. It's more than middle of pineapple. Whatever.
I don't even feed the middle of pineapples to James. I just juice them. I think it might be a windy day.
Well, I think so.
It's already pretty breezy.
Yeah, it's nice. By 11:30, I think it's going to be relatively miserable. Yeah, sorry. Get the feeling, though, the sun's going to be warm. That other day when the sun was warm, brought the flies out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing about the breeze, at least
Keeps the flies.
keeps the flies away.
Other bugs do it.
We'll have to try to go dandelion harvesting today. Or if it turns out too unpleasant tomorrow. I dropped one of the... I was trying to pick out a hair and I dropped a blueberry.